What's up? What's up? What's up, fans, family? Oh boy, y'all get in the building. Hit that like button on your way in the building. Let your friends and family members know about the channel as well. Honestly, I'm kicking back, waiting on my wife to finish doing the things she's doing. We're gonna watch a movie tonight. But before we do, I decided let me go live for a little bit, man. So Tua out here declining offers, huh? Ooh, so two out here declining offers, man. Listen. First of all, let me say this up front before my haters start attacking me, as they always do. This is all funny, okay? We know how contracts work, and he's probably gonna decline 20 offers before the deal gets done. This is how it works. Yeah. First of all, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this train wreck of a mess that we got to deal with. This is what we dealing with. I'm telling y'all now. This season is going to be everything. This season is going to be everything. All the marbles are on the table this season. No more opportunity to cap, no more playing games. This is what it all comes down to this season, this freaking season. Now, first of all, let's get this straight first. You don't have to agree with me, but Tua Tagovailoa ain't even worth $40 million a year. The only reason this is even a discussion is because other franchises are dumb. Let's get that straight now. Daniel Jones get 40 million, the dumbest thing the Giants could have ever done in their life. Kyler Murray gets paid. What in the heck has he proven? This is what I'm talking about. These quarterbacks that ain't worth about nothing out here getting paid, and that's the only reason this is even a conversation. The reality is everybody and their mama know Tua is asking for more money than Mahomes is even getting right now because the market says you gotta keep progressing. Shout out to Chad Ochocinco with Shannon Sharp on their little podcast. And the reason why I bring up Chad Ochocinco because every time I watch they podcast, Chad Ochocinco is around here kissing up and making up and trying to make excuses for everything Miami Dolphins. And for the first time, I heard him say, I don't know, Tua getting 50 something million. I don't think that's smart of him because he's a product of everything around him. I was shocked when I heard Chad Ochocinco out of all people say that. Now he started out, what the Dolphins doing? They need to pay the man. And Shannon said, yeah, but pay him 50 million. He like, oh, I don't know about that. This is what it's about. Everybody knows who Tua is with and without everything around him. Everybody knows. So y'all in the chat talking about TD feeling good. Yeah, man, I'm sitting here on my couch laying down, waiting on the wife. We're gonna watch a movie together. I said, let me go, man, because I haven't been going live much lately because I've been so busy taking care of behind the scenes infrastructure stuff for the upcoming season and Roundtable Sports, the business. I've been busy, so I said, man, let me go live impromptu real quick and just speak my mind. Because the truth is, I'm at a point now, man. Sometimes everybody expects for you to be politically correct too much these days. You know, Everything has to be politically correct, or they try to cancel you and this and that. That's why when if y'all haven't watched the Tom Brady roast, right? 80% of the things said on the Tom Brady roast can get you canceled. But for the first time, nobody was crying the next day about canceling nobody about all of that stuff that was said. And the reality is, the reason why it was a hit is because that's what people crying out for, the unadulterated truth, to where they won't be scrutinized, they won't be beat up for just telling the truth. Because deep down, the saddest part about society today, 90% of the people agree on stuff, but they scared to say they agree with something because the 10% feel offended. The 10% feels offended. So listen, man, at the end of the day, when it comes to the Dolphins community, all of you who are offended by my opinions and my takes, they're just my opinions. I really don't care that you're offended at this point. TD, take your retainer out. Oh, man, maybe it's just the phone. I'm sorry. Hold on, let me see if maybe it's just the phone, but or the reception or something. But it is what it is. I can't fix the sound. Um, I'm going off of my cell phone right now, so it is what it is. Hopefully, you can still hear me though. But let me tell you, man, I'm sick of people being all up in their feelings over somebody else's opinion. Man, uh, uh, it's just so disgusting to me. So let me tell you how I feel. I feel like I love my team. I feel like I care about my team enough to criticize them because we all have goals. We all got things that we want our team to do. We want them to achieve. At the end of the day, when I first started this channel, the ultimate goal was, man, on the road to the Super Bowl. On the road to the Super Bowl. But when you see your team making all these dumb decisions, taking you off the road, trying to have you, instead of getting on the highway, on the toll road, they got you going down 441 with all the lights. They got you going through all the lights and going through residential stop signs, man. We got a 5-hour drive and you got me going through every neighborhood of the stop signs with speed bumps. So yeah, every time we go to a neighborhood and we stop at a stop sign, I'm going to complain. Because we should be on the highway. We should be on the freaking highway, on our way to where we gotta go. Should be able to get there in 3 hours, but it's taking us 25 years. So excuse me, every time we stop at a stop sign, I complain. Excuse me that when we should be making a left and you make a right and we going over speed bumps, I complain. Sick of this crap, man. We ain't got to make it this hard. You get in your feelings because you draft a player that ain't it, but now you trying to make them it as hard as you can just so you don't be wrong. Admit you was wrong and make it right. But no, you want to double, triple, quadruple down. You want to double, triple, quadruple down. Oh, man. And at the end of the day, we drafted a quarterback who had a bad injury history. And on top of that, he was mediocre to begin with. He went to college, had everything around him. Against the best competition in college, he also showed his flaws. He didn't play his greatest football and exceptionally well against the greatest competition in college. And when he got to the NFL, the same thing applies. He beats up on all the weak teams, and when it matters most and the team needs the most, he don't show up. You know, the only thing he can do once a game is throw a deep ball to the sideline for a touchdown for 40 yards to Tyreek Waddle. That's it. Because that's what made him a legend anyway in the national championship, throwing the one deep ball and then winning the game and everybody going crazy. That's the reality. So if we're gonna be stuck with this guy moving down the road, he's at best a 35 to $40 million contract on the high end, being generous. But when we out here talking 50 million and all this, all we doing is setting ourselves up for Tannehill 2.0. That is all we're doing. You know Miami, you're not going to be able to afford the weapons and the offense around him. We already sacrificing, and people don't realize on the O-line. We already sacrificing. We already sacrificing on the interior D-line. And 2 years from now, after he get his money this offseason, we're going to have to make more sacrifices. And this is what's going to happen. I already know how this story ends. They're going to keep everything they possibly can on offense. The defense going to struggle for the next 2 to 3 years as y'all going to keep on thinking they bringing pieces to fix it. And we going to be at best the 18th ranked defense. And it's going to struggle for years. And y'all going to blame the defense, not realizing the effect that the offensive money is having on the defense. That's all that's going to happen. That is all that's going to happen. That's what y'all mark my words. They gonna keep all these as many offensive pieces around him as they can to hide the fact that he ain't as good as he is. As long as they keep that around him to carry him for year after year after year, he can throw 4,500 yards, still can't get 30 touchdowns, but he'll eventually hit it. He'll put up some stats, and everybody will be like, the quarterback ain't the issue, it's the defense. No, paying your quarterback is the issue because now you got to sacrifice on the defense. That's what's going to happen. Because the one thing I've learned over the last several years about the Miami Dolphin fan base is that we are experts at misdiagnosing what the real issue is with this organization. We're experts at misdiagnosing what the real issues are. Next year, if we can't stop the run, oh, we need an interior D lineman. We won't go get an interior D lineman. We'll go get two solid guys. Still won't be what you need in the interior. One will get hurt in the regular season. The other one will be there, but it still ain't enough. Then Zeeler's time for a contract extension. They ain't gonna re-sign him. Then they're gonna draft one and say, okay, we addressed it in the draft. Then your wide receivers ain't the same. We need more help than Waddle because Tyreek gone. When all along the real issue is trying to make things work around an above average quarter. You know what? A good quarterback. You know what? Tua doesn't even deserve it anymore to be talked about as an average or an above average quarterback. Tua Tagovailoa is a good quarterback in the NFL. But the problem with him being good is that he's good enough not to be good enough. He'll always win some games, but he is not clutch and not big moment material. And I told y'all this 5 years ago. The scariest thing about drafting Tua Tagovailoa, before we even drafted him, I told y'all, I said the scariest thing about him and the scariest type of situation a team can ever be in is drafting a quarterback who's good enough not to be good enough because he's good enough to keep on getting contracts and moving along, but not good enough to get you over the hump. It's the worst quarterback to have. I'd rather have a bum because at least I can move on. You either get a bum so you know you can move on, or you get that dude that you know you got. What we got is the guy who's good enough not to be good enough, and it is the worst situation to be in because it is the ultimate definition of purgatory. purgatory just over and over, trying to make the puzzle fit around them. Some years better than others, but then you come to that conclusion 10, 11, 12 years later, okay, this just ain't it. Time to move on. It's what we got to deal with. But when they give him the money this offseason, it is what it is. It's what we have to live with. It's what we have to accept. So, ladies and gentlemen, get ready to accept it. Get ready to accept it. At that point, you get into that mode, okay, how can we make this work? And I just keep on going through scenarios in my head. You give them $45-50 million. How do we make this work? There has to be a way. And that's been the biggest challenge for me. I just can't find the perfect solution long term. Well, there is a solution that will work, but I have no faith it'll happen. Chris Greer would have to hit in the draft in the next 2 years. He'd have to get, and for the next 2 years, 4 of his draft picks out of 7 will have to hit as stars. I ain't talking about just casual starters like a Jerome Baker type guy. No, like you got to hit on 4 out of the 7 draft picks for the next 2 years. You need 8 players that are solidified starters that are all Pro Bowl ready, Pro Bowl caliber in the next 2 years. And you got to ask yourself, what are the odds of that happening? What are the odds of that happening? But if he can do that, we can get back on track and still have a good team for the future, even around Tua, because you have to maintain a high level of talent around him for this team to have any level of success. But the sad part is, what do we define as success? Just making the playoffs and losing? Because that's what I'm hearing from many Dolphin fans out here, is that we've already had great success. Making the playoffs and losing is success. That's all I'm hearing, which scratches my skull. Like, okay, I guess if that's how y'all feel, TD, why can't you just be happy at the success that we've had? What success? We made the playoffs and we haven't done that in a long time. Well, excuse me. When is the last time we had this much talent on the roster? See, this is what people don't understand. Y'all think we just this great team? No, we spent money. I told y'all this 2 years ago. With the players that we brought in, you could have Adam Gase and you should be a wild card team. You can have Adam Gase and be a playoff team. Oh man. I don't have the graphic on me right now. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull it up. I think I do have it. Yeah, ooh. I'm on my phone and this is gonna work. So let me put a graphic up on the screen. Take a look at this graphic, ladies and gentlemen. I can barely see it because it's on my phone. Let me see if I can make an adjustment. Okay, I want y'all to notice something. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Look at this graphic on the screen. So 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. Okay? So we got Flores era and we got McDaniel's last 2 years, his era. I want y'all to look at the Dolphins. When the Dolphins stripped the team, they were 32nd ranked in the NFL for supporting cast for Josh Rosen and Fitz. Makes sense. We stripped the whole team. We stripped the whole team. You go to the next year when we start building the team, when Tua came in his first year, we were 23rd ranked supporting cast. Okay? The next year, 31st ranked supporting cast. And didn't we put up 9 wins with nothing around Tua and whoever? One of those seasons, we put up 9 wins with the 31st ranked supporting cast in the NFL. Still got 9 wins. Might have even been 10. I just don't remember. I think it was 9. So McDaniel's first year with the 13th ranked supporting cast in the NFL, we still put up 9 wins. Way better supporting cast. And last year, with the 4th best supporting cast in the entire NFL, phenomenal. None but weapons around. We put up 11 wins and we still can't get a playoff win. We still can't get a playoff win. You put support around and we still can't get a playoff win. Make it make sense. This is why I tell y'all. The supporting cast, the money we spent got us in the playoffs. Not this elevated play by people, not this great coaching that everybody make it seem like. We paid for immense talent, and that's why we're in the position we're in now. But that ain't finna last forever. That talent is already starting to dwindle. Time will tell. Y'all do me a favor, just hit that like button. We got 489 people watching right now. Let me go to the chat for a little bit. So Ravens been to task for all 5 tests and what they got. I don't know what you meant for been to task. Or you want me to look at the Ravens, how they did with the supporting cast? The Ravens on here, let me see, are second best. They've always had a really good supporting cast. And Glenn said, what has that gotten them? To the AFC Championship game a few times. Let me say this too. Why? Let me be clear. I need y'all to hear me. Nobody's saying that you have to win the Super Bowl because everybody can't win the Super Bowl. You cannot make that the argument of, well, they had a supporting cast, they didn't get a Super Bowl. It's about postseason success. Ultimately, you want to win the Super Bowl, but if you win in a wild card round, you win in a second round, and you go into a championship round, that's 4 teams in that round. 3 of them not going to win the Super Bowl. But that don't mean those teams weren't great teams and they battled. The better team won. But that's not sitting here and act like, well, they didn't win a Super Bowl either. At least they gave themselves a better chance to do it than we did. That's what we're talking about here. We know that the ultimate goal is to win a Super Bowl. But when you're evaluating the team, if I got a team that's going to the Super Bowl and losing, I can evaluate that and say, this team is it. We just missing that 1 or 2 things, and we got to figure that out. If I'm going to the championship round and I lose, man, we're so close. We just got to figure out that 2 or 3 things. If I'm going to a divisional round, man, we not there yet, but you know what? We're on our way. We gotta figure out how to be better. If you're going to a wild card and losing, that tells me nothing. We're good enough to get to the dance, but man, we still got a lot of work to do. And you can't be saying that with a team in a 2-year window. A team in a 2-year window got to be getting to them last 2 steps. You got to be talking AFC Championship or getting in the Super Bowl and losing. Man, when the last time we went to the to the playoffs? Against Pittsburgh Steelers? Do you remember that year? We had that good old line. We had a good running game. We had, I think, Jarvis Landry. We had a receiver. This ain't nothing new. When you have the talent, you go. Tannehill got hurt. That hurt, but it happens. But when you have the talent on the team, when you have immense talent, you make the playoffs. But how good you are as a real team is what you do at that point. This ain't nothing new. Y'all remember when we had the run game? You remember when we had the receiver in the line with all them boys? Pouncey, Cognito, y'all remember? This ain't nothing new. Even with our quarterback getting hurt, we made the playoffs just like last year. When Tua got hurt because the talent. Now the coaching was trash and some of that talent didn't show up in the playoffs, but you see what it is. That's when you're buying talent. But people argue up and down with me, bro, you can't be happy. We're doing something we ain't did in 25 years. At least we making the playoffs. Excuse me, we've made the playoffs before in the last 25 years. You don't see the correlation? We had brought in a lot of talent then too. It was a different way because we had an old line, a run game, and everything. Somebody said, can't believe he feels he's worth holding out. Well, like I said, man, this is where I kind of disagree with people that say that because he should want to hold out. I mean, this is his biggest opportunity to get paid. If I was him, I'd be doing the same thing because you ain't got nothing else. Our general manager set us up like this where you ain't got no backup plan. So if I was in his situation, I'd be holding the team hostage. And I don't even think he's holding out. I think he'll be there tomorrow. If he don't, I'll be shocked. I'll be live. But I'm sure he'll show up tomorrow. Which, once again, shame on him. Because if I'm him, I ain't showing up. I'm making you sweat because you ain't even go get an insurance policy. As a man to man, if I'm Tua, I'm holding out because it's opportunity to set my family up. You get as much as you can. Now, from the team perspective, I ain't paying that man no $50 million. So those are two different perspectives. For those who will be like, why are you flip-flopping? That don't make sense. No, I'm giving you two different angles of it. Tua's angle and what Greer angle should be. But what I don't like about this, I mean, who are we kidding? We know this team gonna cave. Oh, just get a man the money now. Stop trying to save face to make it seem like it was intense negotiations. Give him the money. Give him the money and stop playing. TD, what's Tua's true market price value that's fair for him and the Dolphins? See, the problem with that is you put the word market in there. See, sometimes the market ain't fair. But to answer your question, the true market value that's fair to me is about $44 million annual on a 5-year deal. So what that equates to, if I'm not mistaken, is like 220 or something like that. And out of that 220, I'm gonna guarantee see, that's the tough part. I'm gonna guarantee about 115. I'm gonna guarantee about 115, a little bit short of 3 years guarantees. It will put us on the hook for him for 2 years, and then we have to eat a little bit of money in the third year, but it'll be manageable. That's what a fair. And a matter of fact, that's fair because the market is driving it fair. Now, how much do I think he worth? By in today's NFL, about 38. But I think what's fair is about 44 annually. And not saying I agree with it, but you asked me what would be a fair market value. And that's no incentives in that deal. Um, Dang, TD 115 guaranteed. If Greer pulls that off, he's staying another decade. I mean, I don't know why that shouldn't even be like that should be what it is. That should be what it is, man. Um, that's what it should be. I don't know. He put up good numbers this year. I'm sure a needy team would. I don't know what his market is out there, but that's the problem. I think you got teams like the Raiders and stuff that Denver that would. I see that. See, I don't know because Denver had to learn a lesson, right? They not finna do that. They just got out of a situation where they got screwed over with a way more proven quarterback. Um, it's gonna be around 250, 150 million guaranteed salary. I agree. I know. Might even be 165 guaranteed. I agree with you. I already know. I know it is. I'll just answer his question of what I think fair. Um, it will be 160 million guaranteed minimum, which is ridiculous though. On a 5 year, you're gonna guarantee more than 3 years. Some of these other quarterbacks ain't even got more than that guaranteed. Mm. Teddy threw for 300 yards twice in this offense, Carlos. Yeah. People don't get it. People don't get it. Um, Miami cornered themselves into this. As a Bills fan, pay Tua whatever, as long as he's your starter. We're cool. See, people thinking Bills fans and stuff be saying that stuff as reverse psychology. No. They really like, yeah, pay Tua. you know, like they don't mind Tua. Why would the Bills fans mind Tua? They've consistently owned him. TD week one is no cakewalk. Jacksonville retooled. Well, we're gonna find out, Scant, but I tell you this, we lose week one. That's gonna be a super duper gut wrench to me. I got us winning week one, but we lose week one, bro. That is not good. That is no. And knowing that you got Buffalo at home in week two, and you cannot lose that home game because you ain't gonna win the road one against them. You cannot start out that. Let me tell you something. You lose to Jacksonville, and then you lose to Buffalo in week two. Man, start trading people. Start trading people. Y'all can be like, it's early in the season. Chill out. Gosh, y'all do this every year. Y'all panic. That's all I hear. And don't y'all notice at some point every year that happens? We play a good team or something, and I be like, oh, here we go. It ain't gonna amount to nothing. Even if we make the playoffs, we probably ain't gonna beat not one playoff team. Bro, you so negative. I can't wait for them to prove you wrong. I can't wait either. I can't wait either. Gosh. Sick of when people say that crap. I can't wait for them to prove you wrong. You too? Gosh. Oh, man, I'm supposed to be gloating about I told you so about victories. I hate being like, man, I told y'all this was going to happen about the worst things. Might be right, but he looked like a 10 against the bad teams. His average got pulled up. Yeah. That's the crazy thing. Like, here's the issue I have too, right? Tua plays one way against the bad teams, right? And let me say this too. Sometimes against them bad teams, he didn't even play all that. But what did y'all not notice also against some of them bad teams when we were already blowing them out? McDaniel's still out there throwing the ball, running it up, getting the stats up. If y'all watch my watch parties on Sunday, how many times in the third quarter I said, "Oh, we up by 27. Up McDaniel finna get the he got to get 2 of the 300. He got to get him to 350." And they still out there slinging the rock all over the place. It's always been a campaign to boost his numbers up because Tua looking good makes McDaniel look good and it makes Chris Greer look good. Everything is built around making him look good, not in a way of him actually getting better, but putting things around him that makes life easier, which nothing's wrong with. That's what you're supposed to do. But when it matters most, you can't rely on that. You need a dog. You need a guy who's gonna start carrying it. And unfortunately, we don't have that type of guy. Hmm? We don't. Unfortunately, we don't have that type of guy. But yeah, padding stats against the Broncos when they hit 50 points, you sit the starters to preserve their health. See, here's the problem though. See, they cheer that type of stuff when it works. When all them starters, when it was in the game and we was already had 50 points, they cheer it on, right? But then when we keep the starters in and Chubb goes down, they get mad. They want to get mad at McDaniel. See, it was okay when we running the score up and two are pushing them stats up. But then when we do it, when Chubb's still in the game, we want to get mad. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Some of y'all ain't think about that, did you? The amount of miscommunication was very visible late into the season when they had to adjust to teams figuring them out. Yeah, yeah. Tuna is an idiot. Trade or release that bum. Call that man no idiot, man. We ain't got to do that. Listen, some of y'all got to realize this too. Y'all can't be making this stuff personal about Tua. It's about football and the way that the team is constructed and whether or not he's good enough to be our guy. It ain't. It ain't. I mean, we don't need to like make it a personal thing like it's him. He is who he is, you know. So, like, I don't ever come from a place of attacking Tua in the sense of him. But who he is as a player is fair game. So I urge y'all don't like try to stay away from a place of attacking him as a person, like calling him stupid or this and that. I'm all about his play on the field. If it's trash, it's trash, but that don't make him a stupid person. That don't make you know what I mean. So just FYI, So I don't share them sentiments. I said it's real personal. Well, I get it. I mean, to each his own. But I try to separate those things. As a man, he is what he is. I think he's a good man. I think doing what he wants to do in life and enjoying it how he want to enjoy it. Now, as a football player, I'm not very fond of him. Not the fondest. So, just how I feel. Oh man, I'm sorry, y'all. I just had to go live and just chat it up, man. Just chat it up. Golf don't deserve it. Tua neither. I mean, golf don't deserve it either. Like the amount. Like I think golf is like a $48 million guy. I mean, at least it ain't far off, right? But at the same token, at least he's had postseason success. At least he's gone to a Super Bowl. At least he's gone to an NFC Championship game. At least he didn't like choke. At least he did his part the last few years for the Lions. I'm giving that guy a contract. If Tua has had done what golf has done, I'm giving that guy a contract. I'm giving him the money. But where do we get all like here's what bothered me this week. Hey, let me see what my battery has. 6%. So if my phone die, I'm done for the night. But listen, here's what bothers me about golf got paid, Tua gotta get what is y'all doing? Why y'all comparing golf and Tua? Where did we start allowing people to compare golf with Tua? Golf clears Tua. What is y'all talking about? Why are y'all trying to put Tua close to golf? Because he done had a few accurate years. Are you kidding me? It feel like golf been slinging the rock like that for 50 years. Where do people even get off with the comparison? And has golf been around here getting hurt? Golf been available for his team. Golf put up the numbers every year. Golf has showed up big for the Lions in the last 2 years in the playoffs. In the playoffs, in the big moments. Somebody say we own golf. I guess. I'm just saying. Like, I don't get where the comparison comes from. Please tell me what two out here doing better than golf. That's what I don't understand. As soon as he got paid, everybody like his justification for Tua. Where's the comparison? So TD, what should Miami do when you know they're going to pay him? Well, since we know they're going to pay him, what should they do? What we know they're gonna do. Just pay him. And let's sit back and wait 3 years and start talking about who our next quarterback probably gonna be. Go through this experiment for the next 2 to 3 years, and then sit back and judge it. TD, you know Tuna is a bad QB. You just want to defend him. Bro, what you talking about? Oh crap. Did I just click off? Testing. All right, I'm still here. Bro, what is you talking about? I know he's a bad QB. Tua is not a bad quarterback. Like, if you just don't like him, I get it. Like, I mean, I may troll sometimes. Oh my gosh, he's no good. He's trash. But Tua ain't no bad quarter. Like, if we talking real here, if you just insulting him or trolling right now, I get what you're saying. But if we're talking real football, he ain't no bad quarterback. Tua ain't even an average quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Because there are quarterbacks that, with everything around him, probably wouldn't even do half of what he do, like a Zach Wilson or something like that. He's a good quarterback. The problem is he's the worst kind of quarterback because he's good enough. I keep telling y'all, he's good enough not to be good enough. He gonna always make you think we can figure it out somehow. Like if we just do this, if we just fix that. He gonna always put you in that situation. Tua's not the problem. He's getting his numbers. He's doing his part. No, but real quarterbacks aren't just doing their part. They're doing a little bit of other people's part too. They carrying a little. So, this is the most entertaining TD has ever been, man. I don't know what y'all talking about. Hmm? My wife just said I am pretty entertaining. Interesting. Stop defending Tua, TD, man. I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Why hesitate now? Pay the man. Oh, how? That's my point. That's what I don't understand. Why are you out here playing this game, Chris Greer? Like you want to hesitate now? You've been all in, and all of a sudden it's that time. Everything you did led to this moment that even if it's a stupid decision, that you gonna pay him. We're committed to getting the deal done, bro. It ain't that hard. Just give him everything he wants, because that's what you're going to end up doing anyway. You know how these things go to negotiation. There ain't no concession. You know what he wants. Go ahead and give it to him, because that's what you're going to end up doing. But I tell you who nervous. Boy, the two of them is nervous right now. They like, man, is Chris Greer really gonna do this to us? Is he gonna play hardball? And listen to it, Nears. You have nothing to worry about. In about 2 to 3 weeks, you're gonna be all over social media saying, "Oh, the haters mad, the haters mad." You ain't got nothing to worry about. You don't have a thing to worry about. Don't even get nervous. Oh, Tua declined the offer. Chris Greer trying to incentivize the deal. You ain't got nothing to worry about. They are going to pay that man, okay? Just sit back, be patient, and you will see it'll come to fruition. Then y'all will come around attacking people saying, oh, you mad, and all of that stuff. Don't worry, it's coming. It is coming. I've been let y'all know. I have zero confidence that Chris Greer is gonna make the competent decision. So therefore he getting paid. TD, you know Tuna has never been good with good teams. Man, Louis too lit, man. You really coming at Tua, man. You leave my quarterback alone, bro. You leave my quarterback alone. That's my quarterback for the next 3 years. You leave him alone. We locking him down. Oh man. Pay him top 10 money, not top 3 money. I mean, I guess that still ain't no difference. It still ain't no difference. TD, I know you say we haven't done anything in the playoffs, but for me, it's been more fun than the last 20 years. Yeah, it's going to be fun when you're winning some games, but some of us are at a point to where we've seen it all. We've seen 11 win seasons and 10 win seasons in the last 25 years. See, this is what a lot of people don't like to talk about. We've seen seasons where we had winning records. But at some point, when do you want the ultimate prize? Like, you know what's fun to me? That's still a disappointment? Just missing out. Because you know what wasn't fun for me last year? When we lined up versus the Giants and we beat them, that wasn't joyous for me. If you didn't know we were already going to beat them, then something wrong with you. When we lined up versus the Carolina Panthers, it was zero joy for me. All right, we got the win. Let's move on to the next week. That's 2 wins right there. When we lined up against the Patriots twice, it wasn't that much joy to me. I know they were down and out. When we lined up against the Jets twice, that wasn't that much joy. I know they're division rivals, but see, this is the problem too. You think that's joy because it's all you got. Do you know how it would feel to beat Buffalo when it matters most? Do you know how it would have felt if we beat the Chiefs? Do you know how it would have felt if we beat the Eagles? See, those are the games that I went into the games like, finally, this is an opportunity for me to be moved. For me to actually start having an optimism that's disappeared now. Every single time. Buffalo game. All right, man, if we could just get this one game, I could bring back that blind, loyal optimism I used to have. If we, oh crap, we did that. Okay, the Eagles, if we could just get this one game, I could bring back that blind, loyal optimism. If we could just beat the Chiefs, please. And when we beat the Cowboys, I actually was a little happy, but then I immediately got sad when I thought about the box score because it gave me an indication of the playoffs. See, I'm looking for those tough wins to give me an indication that we got a chance in the playoffs. When we beat the Cowboys, I felt like we still had no chance in the playoffs because the offense had disappeared in the last 5 weeks. It wasn't even existing anymore. That's what a lot of y'all don't even acknowledge. Our offense didn't even exist anymore in the last 5, 6 weeks. You beat the Cowboys with 1 touchdown, 5 field goals. Our offense straight up disappeared. Playing the Chiefs, playing the Baltimore Ravens. Straight disappeared. Ugh. Say siren soap soup, second simple sack sad. Yeah, there you go. Oh. Pay the man. Let's get to training camp. Oh, one thing I did want to talk to y'all about. I hope that they go and get Calais Campbell, um interior defensive lineman. He old, but I think he can help us with a little bit of production. Simmons potential. I'm just looking for everything we can to help us. I just want to have hope at some point this season. I don't know. Believe it or not, I still be looking for hope, y'all. I still be looking for hope. I'm just not finna be fake around here and selling y'all lies, knowing how I really feel and just telling you the other way because I know it's what a lot of you want to hear. Anyway, 600 people in the room. Y'all hit the like button on your way out. I'm finna get out of here. Finna hang out with the wife, watch a movie. Um, Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Fins up no matter what. Y'all take care. I'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll get back at it just in time. My phone at 2%, so I'm finna get out of here. Love y'all. Peace. I am out.